If you're in Texas right now, or if you know someone who's going through with Johnson, hey, look, man, Johnsons, I want you to know, we feel for you. There's nothing like being cold. I've been in a house before. I don't know how many of you have shared the experience of not having heat, who've had to go without, or who has been in a situation where you saw no end at the end of the tunnel. No light at the end of the tunnel. That's it. So I've been there. I understand how that feels. And all I can tell you is keep your head up. This too shall pass. And please hang in there. But what I would never do is make fun of it. Yeah, there's a lot of things I'll make fun of. But I won't make fun of people's misery. And that's whether you live in Texas, or whether you live in California, or whether you live in Maryland, or the District of Columbia, or South Carolina, or wherever. Because that to me is bad form. Now, if you make some dumb decisions, I might remind you that you made some dumb decisions. So when I got sent this by a member of Wolfpack, they were very concerned because they said, look, Tim, there are some liberals out here making fun of the people suffering in Texas. And how are they any better than Trump if they're making fun of people that are suffering in Texas? So let's take a look at a couple of tweets from a couple of notable figures who had some comments that some people say are offensive about what's going on in Texas. Check it out. Let's start with Cenk Uygur. Cenk Uygur said, only upside of Texas power outages is people like Joe Rogan, who was so proud to leave California and move to Texas, freezing their asses off. They said they wanted less government. Congrats. Mission accomplished. I hope you're not asking the government to come help you. Freedom! Wow. That's a tough one there, Cenk. I don't know, man. The only upside? First of all, to say there's an upside to people dying, because there's been, 35 deaths? The number of deaths behind what's happening in Texas. So to say there's an upside in people dying, it's probably not the way to go, Hoss. Yeah, it might not be the tact a so-called the home of progressives want to take. Just saying this, if I'm being totally honest. May not be the way you want to go at this, you know what I'm saying? So that's horrible. And then bringing up Joe Rogan seemed a little petty. Joe Rogan ain't the only person that lives in Texas, Johnson. It's a lot of people that live in Texas. Like Alex Jones, who you talked about a lot over the years, which kind of helped him like Trump. But anyway, I digress, guys. Here we go, guys. Seems a little petty, or a whole lot of petty. Almost like it's a coastal beef. What's this, Tupac and Biggie? Well, I think if this is a Tupac Biggie beef, I don't know which one you are, but I'm about to go to the other side because Cenk ain't got a lot of cool points, and his rhymes be slipping. Now, look, man, I understand what Cenk's trying to say. He's trying to say, look, man. That's what he's trying to say. Probably not the thing to say. I'm not saying, because there are innocent people who have nothing to do with your beef with Joe Rogan or like any of this. They have nothing to do with that. And they just happen to live in Texas. So they don't have any control over the stupid crap that their politicians do or implement. And they have no control over it. So maybe you could have slid that in, but I know how it is. Look, I was having to explain my tweet today. You can say tweets that are to get away from you. Sometimes, whoa, horse left the building, the horse left the stable, and that horse is gone. That's it. So so I think that Cenk is wrong in this, and he went too far, and maybe he shouldn't have done that. But it's not like him saying the right thing is going to change the situation for the people in Texas. I'm just saying it's a bad look to mock Texans. And I know Jack would say, I'm not mocking Texans, I'm mocking Joe Rogan. Still sound bad. It's horrible. Okay, so we got somebody else, Stephen King. Remember Stephen King with all the great movies? It is one of them. What's the one with Kathy Bates? The Shining. So many great movies. Stephen King said, hey, Texas, keep voting for officials who don't believe in climate change and supported privatization of the power grid. Maybe in 4 years you can vote for Trump again. He believes in the latter, but not the former. Perfect. Jesus Christ there, Stephen. Goodness gracious, man. Goodness gracious, dog. Look, I don't even know what to say to that one. Obviously, Stephen King's not worried about selling many books to Texans. But see, it's different with Stephen King, because Stephen King he's not a progressive champion of, he doesn't own a station that he calls the home for progressives. He's just a guy who wrote some books and made some movies, and Cujo and other stuff. Cujo was really good, man. Scary dog movie. But yeah, it's not like, so he can say what he wants to say. Do I think it's kind of harsh to blame all the Texans for, I mean, there are some people who probably voted differently. They just got overruled, Johnson. Like, they got voted, like, sort of like us, right, with Joe Biden. Like I didn't vote for Joe Biden. I ended up with him. It's not my fault I got him. Of course, there are idiots who don't understand that. They think because I'm black, I voted for Joe Biden. You know, but I didn't, so. But yeah, just because you're a Texan doesn't mean you voted for the dumbass, what's his name? Who's Texas? Like, people really wanted Cruz. They had Cruz, they had Beto O'Rourke, and they were like, I'm going back to sleep. So anyway, yeah, I get it, man. I get it. Stephen King, Cruz as well. Unnecessary. Didn't need to say it. He said it. I don't know. Take a Twitter, unfollow him. Don't take a Twitter away. Unfollow the guy. People are allowed to make bad comments. People are allowed to say things you don't like. And you're allowed to do what I'm doing right now, which is call their ass out on it and say, hey, that was stupid as hell. That shouldn't have been done. Way to go, dumbass. And like, hey, or whatever. So that's it. So anyway, thank you for sending me this update about these people who showed they have a little less class than you would think they would have. And I'm kind of laughing their asses off about dead people in Texas. There are kids in Texas. Kids right now. Like, it's not a whole state. You think it's a whole state of a bunch of Trump fans. There's a lot of people in Texas, man. I saw a bird frozen in a tree. Just,
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.